Wonders of Ireland. Most amazing places to visit. Did you know that Ireland has more ancient sites per square kilometer than any other country in Europe? In fact, some of its stone monuments are older than the Egyptian pyramids. Yet while millions flock to famous landmarks like the Cliffs of Moher, the true magic of Ireland lies in places that blend raw natural beauty with haunting legends, timeless culture, and quiet corners you won't believe still exist. In this video, we're exploring the most amazing places to visit in Ireland. The wonders that don't just impress your eyes, but stir your soul. From craggy coasts to mystical ruins, from vibrant cities to emerald green wilderness. Each stop on this journey is a story waiting to unfold. So grab your raincoat and your curiosity. We're about to discover a land where myth and reality walk hand in hand. Giant's Causeway. Let's start with a geological masterpiece so surreal, it sparked a legend that still echoes through every Irish pub. Giant's Causeway. Located on Northern Ireland's Antrim coast, this UNESCO World Heritage Site features over 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, formed by ancient volcanic activity, or according to local lore, by a giant named Finn McCool, who built a path to fight his Scottish rival. The reality is just as mind-blowing as the myth. But here's the catch. On sunny days, it draws heavy crowds, and the stones can be slippery and unpredictable, especially during high tide. Still, imagine standing among those hexagonal pillars as the Atlantic roars just feet away. It's like walking through a myth that decided to turn real. Skellig rising out of the Atlantic, like something out of a fantasy film. Oh wait, it was in one. Skellig is one of Ireland's most jaw-dropping wonders. Perched 12 kilometers off the County Kerry coast, this remote island monastery was home to monks who sought solitude on the edge of the known world. With beehive-shaped stone huts and vertigo-inducing steps carved into sheer cliffs, it's both mystical and daunting. But here's the challenge. Weather often cancels boats, and only a limited number of visitors are allowed each day. The Burren. You might think Ireland is all out green, but then you reach the Burren and suddenly it's like landing on another planet. This limestone landscape in County Clare stretches like a cracked marble puzzle, dotted with rare wildflowers and ancient tombs. It's one of Europe's most unique ecosystems, where Arctic and Mediterranean plants grow side by side, and it feels both eerie and beautiful. The Burren is quiet, even in high season, but its isolation comes with challenges: limited signage, unpredictable weather, and slippery rock surfaces. Ever walked across a place that looks like the moon but smells like wild thyme? That's the Burren. Bring sturdy boots, a GPS or good offline map, and an open mind. It's not your typical tourist postcard, and that's exactly why it stays with you. Dingle Peninsula. Less famous than its wild Atlantic sibling, the Ring of Kerry, the Dingle Peninsula is arguably more rewarding. Here the road snakes past cliffs, stone huts, ancient Christian oratories, and views so wide you feel like you've stepped into an epic poem. The town of Dingle itself is a rainbow-colored harbor, filled with traditional music, artisan shops, and seafood you'll remember forever. But beware, narrow roads and unpredictable weather make driving here an adventure in itself. Ever found a town so charming you consider quitting your job to open a bookstore there? That's Dingle. Drive carefully, stay at a local B&B to soak in the music culture, and don't skip Sleahead Drive. It's Ireland's west at its absolute best. Glendalough. Tucked in the Wicklow Mountains, just an hour south of Dublin, Glendalough is where history and nature blur beautifully. This ancient monastic site, founded in the 6th century, sits between two glacial lakes and is surrounded by mossy forests and silent hills. The round tower, stone churches, and Celtic crosses transport you back to Ireland's spiritual roots. But even paradise has a catch. Weekends can get crowded and midges, tiny biting insects, appear like ghosts in the mist during warmer months. Still, ever wanted to find a place where silence feels sacred? That's Glendalough. Visit on a weekday, pack repellent just in case, and take the longer hiking trail. You'll find a viewpoint where the world below goes perfectly still. Connemara. Connemara isn't a place, it's a feeling. Think open bogland, mirror-like lakes, stone walls leading nowhere, and sheep who seem to be in charge of the roads. This part of County Galway is one of Ireland's wildest and most poetic regions, beloved by artists, writers, and anyone craving raw beauty. But that wildness means unpredictable rain, very few public transport options, and sudden fog that makes maps useless. Ever driven into a cloud and emerged into a rainbow-colored valley? That's Connemara. Rent a car, go slowly, and stop whenever something beautiful demands your attention. about every 10 minutes. Rock of Cashel. Once the seat of kings and later a mighty ecclesiastical site, the Rock of Cashel is Ireland's answer to Mont Saint Michel, minus the ocean, plus a lot more sheep. Towering over the Tipperary plains, its mix of Gothic chapels, round towers, and Celtic art creates an atmosphere that's equal parts dramatic and divine. But here's the thing, the wind up there is real. Like, this umbrella is now a weapon real. And interior access can be limited during restoration work. Still, ever visited a place where history literally looms over you? That's the Rock of Cashel. Dress for wind. Take the guided tour for epic stories, and linger to see the changing light. It makes the stone walls glow like something out of legend. Atchell Island. Connected to the mainland by a short bridge, Atchell Island is Ireland's rugged Atlantic soul, where cliffs tumble into violent waves and villages feel like they've stood watch for centuries. From Keem Bay's white sands to the haunting ruins of the deserted village, Atchell is dramatic, raw, and refreshingly unpolished. But that rawness means sudden weather shifts, limited cell coverage, and a real sense of being out there. Ever wanted to stand on a cliff and scream into the wind just to hear it roar back? That's Atchell. Pack layers, drive with caution, and don't rush. Atchell is for travelers, not tourists. Newgrange. Older than Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids, Newgrange is a Neolithic passage tomb that aligns perfectly with the rising sun on the winter solstice. It's not just ancient, it's astronomically genius. Located in County Meath, this mound holds 5,000 years of mystery beneath its grass-covered dome and decorated stones. But because of its popularity and fragile nature, access is tightly controlled and must be booked via the Brunaboyne Visitor Center. Ever entered a tunnel so ancient it feels like walking through time itself? That's Newgrange. Book early, take the guided tour, and marvel at the idea that people this old were already building wonders that still baffle us today. The Dark Hedges. Let's end with something magical and a little spooky. The Dark Hedges. This avenue of intertwined beech trees in County Antrim was originally planted by a wealthy family to impress guests approaching their mansion. Centuries later, it's one of the most photographed spots in Ireland, especially since its eerie beauty appeared in Game of Thrones. But fame has its drawbacks. The road is now often flooded with tourists, and the trees are aging faster than nature intended due to foot traffic and erosion. Ever walked through a tunnel of trees and felt like you'd slip between worlds? That's the Dark Hedges. Visit early morning or late evening for the atmosphere, stay quiet, and remember that magic needs a little respect to survive. If this journey inspired your next adventure, give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and share it with someone who's always dreamed of visiting the Emerald Isle. In the comments, tell us which Irish wonders spoke to you the most, or which hidden gem you'd add to this list. Until then, travel thoughtfully, listen to the land, and may the road always rise to meet you.